Alright, let's dive into some tennis news that's been flying under the radar but absolutely deserves your attention. Here's the deal, Kiwi tennis players have been making waves in doubles finals across the globe, and the results? Well, they're a mix of triumph and heartbreak. But what makes this really interesting is how these outcomes reflect the broader trends in tennis, and the grind of climbing the ranks. First up, a massive shout-out to Erin Routliffe. She just bagged the Mubadala DC Open Women's Doubles title alongside Aldila Sutjiadi from Indonesia. They crushed Japan's Makoto Ninomiya and Slovenia's Andrea Klepac with a solid 6-4, 6-1 win. Personally, I think this victory is more than just another title for Routliffe. It's her 13th career title, and her second with Sutjiadi after Austin in 2023. What many people don't realize is that this win catapults her back into the WTA top 10. That's huge. The DC Open is a WTA 500 event, which means the competition is fierce, and to come out on top. That's a statement. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Doubles tennis often doesn't get the same spotlight as singles, yet it demands a unique blend of skills, communication, trust, and split-second decision-making. Routliffe and Sutjiadi's partnership is a great example of how chemistry can make or break a team. If you take a step back and think about it, their success isn't just about individual talent, it's about how well they complement each other. This raises a deeper question: how much of doubles success is about the players themselves versus the synergy they build? Now, let's flip the coin to the ATP side. Reynolds and James Watt came agonizingly close to their first title at the Los Cabos tournament in Mexico. They fell 7-6, 4, 6-7, 5, 10-8 to Americans Ryan Segerman and Patrick Track in a match that lasted nearly 2 hours. What makes this loss Southwest compelling is how close they were. A detail I find fascinating is that this is still their best career result, pushing them to 80th and 81st in the ATP rankings. In my opinion, this is where the grind of professional tennis really shows. Every match, every point, matters when you're climbing the ladder. What this really suggests is that even in defeat, there's progress. From my perspective, the contrast between Routliffe's win and Reynolds and Watt's loss highlights the fine line between success and setback in tennis. One thing that immediately stands out is how both pairs are pushing boundaries, Routliffe reclaiming her spot in the top 10, and Reynolds and Watt breaking into the top 100. This isn't just about winning or losing, it's about the journey and the resilience it takes to stay in the game. What many people don't realize is that doubles players often juggle multiple tournaments, like Reynolds playing at the Lexington Challenger this week, or Jack Loudett teaming up with Eli Stevenson. It's a relentless schedule, but it's also where the growth happens. If you take a step back and think about it, these stories aren't just about Kiwi tennis players, they're about the broader narrative of perseverance in sports. Whether it's Routliffe's comeback to the top 10, or Reynolds and Watt's near miss, these moments remind us that success isn't linear. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and it's often built on a foundation of losses as much as wins. Personally, I think that's what makes tennis, and sports in general, so captivating. It's not just about the trophies, it's about the stories behind them. So here's my closing thought: what does it take to keep going when the wins don't come? And how do partnerships like Routliffe and Sutjiadi's or Reynolds and Watt's shape the players they become? These are the questions that make tennis more than just a game. It's a reflection of life, with all its highs and lows. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you following these players? What's your take on the grind of professional tennis? Let's keep the conversation going.